So Andy, how you doing, my friend?
How's it going, Roger Snipes? Good to finally meet you. Ah,
Finally,
man, been seeing your
finally.
videos. Big fan.
God bless you, man. I'm a big fan of your work as well, or should I say your product. You have a beautiful story as well, which we'll get into. But yeah, I'd seen your products for probably a few years, and I'll be honest with you, I was intrigued, but at the same time, I I used to try out products in the past, and because my skin is really greasy by nature, I always had an issue with products because when I applied it to my face, I found that the ones that said that they are good for dry skin, I found that it really dried out my skin. And then as a reaction, my face just produced more oil. So it got
Mm,
really greasy. So I was like, okay, I'm
mm,
not going to use that. And the other ones which said they help to nourish the skin and stuff like that, they were a bit more creamier. So I used that, and then my face got even more oily. So I was like, do you
mhm.
know what? I'm not going to use anything. And so I just always ate good food, used the sauna, and my skin has been all right. It's improved over the years. But
Yeah.
when we got talking, and then I tried some of your products, only possibly maybe three of the products I tried. The main one was like can't remember the names of them actually. It's like a cream which you wash your face with. What do you call that?
The Pearl Cleanser.
The Pro Cleanser.
Pearl
Pro
Cleanser.
Cleanser.
Yeah.
And then there was the night cream as well.
Oh, yeah.
Those are the main two which I used. And within a short space of time, I noticed the difference. I really
Yeah.
did.
I
I
think
felt
you love the
younger.
gold serum too. Sorry to interrupt, but I
Yeah,
think you
yeah,
love the
yeah.
gold
That's right.
serum
You
too.
did. You sent the gold serum, and I used that a few times. But I guess because for so many years I was just so used to not using anything, it was a big deal to be using two products. You know what I mean?
Oh,
I
yeah.
used the gold serum a few times, and it was quite light, lighter than the night one. The night one was a bit thicker. Rub it in the hands and then massage it in. And it was cool, man. It was cool. I just noticed, I felt like, oh my God, am I looking a bit younger? You know,
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
it was really nice. But the main thing for me was I didn't feel super greasy. You know,
Yeah.
it felt nice. It felt like my skin was feeling soft, and any kind of dark lines I might have occasionally had under the eyes, I didn't see that anymore. So amazing stuff.
Good. Hey, thank you. Thank you. That's the reaction I love to hear. Um, I just, it's been as I look back, you look to solve a problem when you're in such an impressionable age, at an impressionable age, like in my teens, right? That's when I first started to realize and get into my ingredients. I actually had not terrible cystic acne, but I did. And I had terrible back acne. So, like little mosquito bites around your face that you wake up and see and just bug the heck out of you. And I was using, big, the products that were marketed to me. I think it was like Neutrogena, Clean and Clear, Noxema, all of that.
Yeah.
And just, growing into my body, eating dorm food, taking supplements, trying to gain weight, the protein, fat, calories. So I was eating terribly. But I finally just went down because Berkeley is it's a kind of a hippie town, a lot of nature, granola, organic food there. They were one of the first places to really make an emphasis of that in the Bay Area. So I walked around, found a Chinese herbalist on Shattuck Avenue, and just kind of started explaining my issue. They were giving me a hard time about my hair and like I just have a big forehead, but I seriously I was talking to him and I wanted to figure out how to just revitalize my system. And I found out about aquea silica horsetail extract from Flora. I bought that, started taking that, but I would listen to him. Just the whole idea and the Chinese medicine, the idea of just rebuilding yourself from head to toe by cleansing and building your blood and reducing inflammation. So I started learning. I took that. You're there for an hour, but the piece I took from him was very helpful, just because it kind of started a little interest, and that interest started building over the years. I switched up my products from like Neutrogena to something smaller at 18 years old to Dove. But then I remember looking at Dove and going, oh, it's a coconut surfactant. They had a couple of coconut derived ingredients, and that just signaled to me that it was healthier. But then researching, and then you solve a problem. I was using Dove soap from head to toe, and it just completely cleaned up my back acne, which was crippling to me at the time. And then yeah, my face was clearing up as well. So I was the guy wearing night cream. I became very passionate about skincare. And my teammates were wearing me out, giving me a hard time. Nyla's over there. I'm over there patting around sunscreen before practice because I was an outfielder, the sun beaming in. I didn't care. It just became my like thing. But it's just so interesting years later looking back at that and going, man, that little rose hip CoQ10 derived Dove night cream at 22. I was like, man,
That's
yeah,
amazing.
I guess technically I've been, into this my entire life, right where I'm supposed to be.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it must have been a hell of a journey for you. I think most kids probably don't really look into ingredients of stuff which they put on their skin, and even the foods which they eat. I mean, you mentioned like dorm food or something. I think they say like with teenagers they have bad acne because of hormones, but I think as teenagers they have the worst diet as well. So
Yeah,
there's a lot of that to account for. So
absolutely.
let's talk about your story. Like I know that you had a bit of some sort of tragic story as to what kind of led you into the direction of Alitura, isn't it? Um,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So what happened there?
So I was I was an athlete, didn't get drafted, sitting around the parents' house for a couple of weeks, moved down to Los Angeles, was working for Abercrombie and Fitch, living with an actor in Los Angeles named Billy Snow. Long story made short, I was running lines with him, got an audition through I was really nailing his lines. I was helping him with his audition, but I got a call back, ended up booking that role and filming for 6 weeks. So I got a representation. I saw that you're a stunt actor. You get all of that. So like number one, you never get reads for roles without having an agent or getting submitted. But Billy, thank God he did, because that really I wrote out an entertainment, very good career in the entertainment industry until March 20th, 2011, when I was crossing the street in Los Angeles. I got hit by a westbound heading vehicle, hit into the eastbound lane and run over by a Land Rover and a Tundra. Yeah, it hit me just in the middle of the street. Got my clothes cut off me. I was coming in and out of consciousness. Luckily, I lost consciousness on the first point of impact, so I don't remember too much of it. But I woke up in a Cedars-Sinai ICU bed with my chin on a compound fracture protruding through the bottom of my mouth, 7 broken ribs, and a collapsed lung. Yeah, so like, but the resident maxillofacial surgeon, Dr. Rosenberg, couldn't do the surgery. It was a really bad mandible fracture, so we had to hire a private guy who put Dr. Bergerdi, bless your heart. He put a titanium plate up top, one on bottom to help the bones, piece back together. And then I got those both removed. I don't know, 9 months later.
Oh,
And I went through like the whole recovery again. It was crazy, seriously, because your bone attaches to the titanium. And I mean, that was almost worse than the first one. But yeah, all throughout, Roger, just number one, being extremely appreciative of being alive. I had a heightened perspective, but I had perspective to begin with. So like I was looking at the reasons behind it and like, all right, this is, clearly I'm supposed to be here. People don't survive accidents like that, and I had a pre-existing clay mass that I do every Sunday night that I kind of kept to myself. So I
mm.
just started doing that. That created a lot of blood flow and circulation to the surface of the skin. And I had what I would do at that time was I was just using a little chunk of cacao butter at night as my night cream, and I would like pat in a little manuka honey. I was into it big
Right.
time. I had my routines. Oh yeah. So, but then what I did over time, I would combine beeswax and then use that chunk of cacao butter, drop in some sea buckthorn oil, and then make a little paste to follow up that clay mask, and then adding things to the clay mask. But the whole time I'm going, man, what am I going to do? Just in an effort to heal my scarring and abrasions and create blood flow. It was all, theory in my mind. I was just like, all right, we'll just bring blood flow, scar tissue, because I didn't trust the serums and the creams that the doctors were recommending. They just had a terrible ingredient deck. I was looking at them, and then they just a little speck of an active ingredient that who knows what the side effects are. I have very sensitive skin, so I just felt that I was good with my idea of how I was going to grow my skin back, and it was going to be kind of my creation in the process. Never intending to start a business, but it's just the whole idea of treating your skin like another mouth, using food grade ingredients, using beeswax, cacao butter,
Yeah.
royal jelly, propolis, pollen, all these beautiful plants and extracts. I mean, deer placenta, colostrum, beef tallow, emu oil. Why not?
So
I mean, everything.
wait, so you was just like reading into these ingredients
Yeah.
and you was just buying them and just mixing them together in your house and applying it to your face.
Yes. Yeah. It just became fun because I was seeing results. I was healthy at the time. Luckily, I had youth on my side. I think I was 29, about to be 30. Yeah. And I was in good shape, obviously I was taking care of myself. So my skin started to grow back. I met with several Chinese herbalists, George Lamoureux from Jing Herbs, Crosby Weir, Truth Calkin, Sage Dammers, Dragon Herbs. Anyway, so I'd go around my jaw wired shut, just trying to pick their brain to, build how I was going to, get my zest back, because I was just, kind of a zombie, going through with the antibiotics and the x-ray, monthly x-rays to see how the bones growing back. I just didn't like how I felt. And so I built myself back with that morning tonic. But some of the ingredients in that tonic, I would experiment with my mask. And that's how I got ginseng, vitamin C, pearl powder, colostrum, essentially organic kelp powder too, because I was putting in spirulina, and I was like, I didn't like the spirulina. I like the coarseness and sodium alginate and organic kelp powder, so I use that. So basically, yeah, that's how I formulated the mask, through pure trial and error, just curiosity, and then just experimentation on myself, using myself as my biggest science experiment. I saw results very quickly through
Mhm.
that. And I don't want to say it's just like the products, but I had youth on my side, but I became extremely diligent and consistent with my routine. That had a lot to do with the products, had a lot to do with it. I remember picking Christina Rodriguez up about 3 or 4 weeks later. And if I didn't start talking because I didn't have teeth, but like she was just like did a legitimate double take, and that made me feel good. I was getting back to myself, and I was
Mm.
back. Actually, I didn't tell my San Francisco agent about the accident, because I had just an outside goal of the first week of June going to Santana Row, doing the Macy's show that I booked, and I did that. And so how it is, just little victories, getting your zest back. But I was staring at my purpose in the face the entire time with that clay mask that led to so much, man.
Was that your first product, the clay mask?
Yeah. Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
that's the first one
Yeah.
you launched. Okay.
First product. Yeah. It's a wild story. I troubleshooted Dave Asprey's email address. I found out the contact form, info at Bulletproof Exec, and his name's Dave Asprey. So David, D.Asprey, Dave.Asprey. One of those went through. They brought me on board as an ambassador, and that was cool. Like getting the product sent to me because I was buying it, and then just taking pictures, and I'd mix it in with the mask. And so they kind of started to see that, pay more attention to me. And then they invited me on their podcast, February 1st, 2014. I was on Bulletproof Radio, and going through my experience with the products and how I recovered quickly, largely because of his coffee, because I never drank coffee before. And
Mm.
hopping in Bulletproof coffee is like hopping in a Testarossa for the first time. I mean, it really motivated me during my workouts. And because I was back in the industry, I kind of wanted to work for Dave.
Right.
And you know what I mean? I was back modeling and acting, working more than ever before. And I wanted to thank him
Mhm.
and just see what I could do for Bulletproof. And the last 10 minutes or 15 minutes of the podcast, he asked what I did for my skin. And I was like, oh man, here we go. Because it was like millions of downloads, and I was started flowing on the ingredients and why I use this and that. And he got such a response from that podcast. So did I. I think I gave out my personal email address. I'm not sure, but I mean, it was just, constant emails of just people showing love, and then saying nice things, and then also wanting to know where they could find this mask. And that was just the biggest, because Dave was getting a big response too. So I was like, all right, packaging the mask. So I just did the math, or the ingredients. I was like, oh, packaging, what am I gonna do for that? So I went to Whole Foods, got the clear plastic containers that they use for like peanut butter, almond butter, olive oil. They don't even sell those. So I grabbed that, and the lid went over. Same manager every time. You know, we don't sell those. So please, it's just long-winded story of what I was using them for. And they came up with a price for 15 for the jar and lid. So I had packaging for 30 cents, taped it shut, went over, had the bright idea. By that time, finally had a company name. Went over to Kinko's, Alitura, and then I wrote out single space the directions. That was almost a full page, you know, of like being so specific with ingredients and essential oils and my proper routine and how to do it. And then I came up with a price. $35 free shipping sounded right. But those in those containers, there's 16 ounces, right? And then I'm shipping off to Sweden for 23. And then my cost of goods is doubled. So I'm losing money, getting a sale and losing money. So I'm like, dude, it's just such a trip. But man, it was, you know, learning on the go and going, you know, those ahs, you learn, you know, and yeah, it's just been taking that mission of a clean, just next level ingredients, man. It's fun at these conferences because yeah, sure, there are other brands, and you know what, green beauty is getting better. Everybody's got their thing. Mine is just creating something that nobody's done, that nobody will go to the lengths to do. You
Yeah.
know, that's mine, you know. You know, it's the artistry of it. The creative side of it, while combining all the elements with a disregard to profit.
Yeah.
Seriously, but I don't have anybody around me. Our body lotion, I'll just tell you, $21 to make. We sell for 79, and that's before shipping. But it's a statement product. You know what I mean? Like just the bottle and pump alone, 253. Like that's entire formulas for other brands. But there's organic Brazilian acai butter from the Amazon. I mean, there's a whole process of getting these ingredients. I mean, Iron Village is picking the fruits and nuts and plants and then curing some of them for 18 weeks. And then before it's even ready to ship. And that's one ingredient. And well, that's an ingredient for our essential oil blend in the pearl cleanser. But I mean, we have to keep that in mind with supply chain. It's
Yeah.
just, but you have to be excited. It has to excite you. You know what I mean? Internally to have that level. But I'm 9 years into it, man. I'm just getting started. Like I'm
Yeah.
starving for more.
That's
So
incredible,
yeah,
man. That's incredible. And
thank you.
it's just the passion of wanting to make sure that all of the best ingredients are in that in the formula. There's one brand that focuses a bit more on supplementation, and this is their top true performance. They're called Drink HRW. Like all of their supplements are for either performance or longevity, and they spend so long focusing on formulations and making sure it has the correct dosage of each ingredient so that it has that therapeutic value. It's not just like, okay, let's throw that in because it's said to be good. Oh, let's throw that in. And they're very different from most other brands. And because of that, you know, they have to sort of raise the price bracket up. But even when they do, they're still not making a crazy amount of profit because of the amount of how much it costs for the ingredients. So
Uh,
I totally respect the people who put a lot of money in it to make sure that they have the best as well. So well
yeah.
done for that, you know?
Thank you. Yeah, it's true, number one. And then it's up to us just because if I had a big boardroom, this would be a little, or people alongside me telling me, no, I mean, you can't, it wouldn't work with me because it's about creating the dream, the vision, and then
Mhm.
coming up with, all right, and then making it affordable for everyone. So you got like this perfect storm of like vision, but it works out. There's magic behind our brand. Our customers do our marketing. Our customers are our biggest form of how we spread the word. Our reviews are, I mean, unbelievable. So sometimes what we'll do is we'll get in there to someone who leaves like a thick story about our products, and we'll just go, hey, just saw what you wrote. Thank you. It's people like yourself that have led to the growth of our brand. If you wouldn't mind taking out your smartphone, basically just recording 30, 45 seconds of what you just said, it would really help in us promoting the brand through an authentic form of a true story of using our products through a customer who paid for it. Yeah. And so that's what we do. And then we compile those into a sizzle reel and just share it. You
Yeah.
know, this is the truth. And I love it. You know, we don't have, yeah, it's a lot of fun because there's a big ripple that we can create because it's more than just skincare. It's just about being respectful that you're putting, you know, this is stuff people are putting on their face and just also, man, we, Yeah, I think it can lead into a lifestyle. That's the goal because I love meeting our customers. We're all super like-minded and pretty healthy as it is. And I think it can lead into more with retreats and just keeping that, I want to
Oh,
leave it with,
amazing. Yeah, that would be cool. How old are you, by the way?
41, about to be 42.
Looking great, man. Looking great. I don't see a
Thank you.
single line anywhere. I was wondering,
Hey,
because
you
obviously I
know,
see the hair, but it still looks thick and like, you don't see no lines. I'm like, yeah, loving it, man. Loving it.
hey, thank you.
But
Hey, how old are you? Just curious.
I'm 44.
Okay. Yeah,
44,
same.
man.
Hey,
44.
there we
44,
go.
man.
You know exactly how it is. But I yeah, it's just the maintenance. And I know it's a lot of work. When the couples come to our booth at the conference and say the girlfriend is trying to get the boyfriend on a routine, it can be a lot because I do a lot. I stack my gold serum with night cream at night. It's probably why I'm single. But
Ah,
you know what I mean? Like but I mean, I do a lot. So it just comes down to what you want to do, what lengths you're willing to go to for your routine and maintenance. But you can also keep it nice and simple with just a cleanse, exfoliate, hydrate, repair.
yeah.
Exfoliating a couple times a week, and then cleanse, hydrate, repair. And
Let's
then
let's
cleanse and
let's come
hydrate.
to that because I
Yeah.
want to talk about your routine in a moment, but
Yeah.
I want to go into one of the products which caught my attention. I think maybe one of your newest products is called
Mhm.
the Meteorite Scrub.
Oh yeah.
Um, you said something about it's a specialized or sophisticated formulation of ingredients designed to optimize exfoliation. But you said
Mhm.
something about cosmic energy and
Yeah.
Moroccan meteorite powder. I was like,
Oh yeah.
meteorite powder? Like, what
Yeah.
is this? I've never
Yeah.
heard anything like that in any scrub. Please explain, how did you come up with this formulation or idea?
Well, I knew I wanted a just a ready to apply a facial scrub essentially, and started going over the good ingredients. And then because I had a friend of mine, Maggie Ghanem, at a formulator sample shop out in North Carolina, she reached out and told me about meteorite powder, 15,000 for a half kilo. Like I started looking, I was like, what does it do? Well, there's carbon in it, but the cosmic appeal. I mean, Roger, I'm just so fascinated with not only ancient civilization, but the universe, the energy, the spiritual energy out there, the cosmos. I mean, you name it. And so I just wanted to I added that personally in there just to create that personal attachment to me. And this is a very special product for me. I mean, I've been working on this for 7 years. We've had the
Mm.
formula done since 2020. I just wanted a little visual variance in my line. So I created the sugarcane tube and then it wasn't compatible. So we went back to mirror glass. And then I had to design a whole packaging thing around that. That's the only reason why it took so long. But the formula took a little while too because I wanted something very different there. We're using bamboo stem cell extract, Japanese ceremonial grade matcha powder, Montana U-tip oil and powder, as well as like a tri-level exfoliant system. We're using rounded particles in there, cherry and olive pit, to help exfoliate the skin gently. And then we're using mandelic acid, hyaluronic acid, and fulvic acid to help just regenerate the tissue from within. So it's this big, just a system of just, and it's very effective. That's going to be our most popular product. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the meteorite itself, has it been tested to show that it actually
Yeah.
exfoliates very well and the minerals absorb in the skin and stuff?
Yes, it has been tested. It's a mild exfoliant. It
Mm.
has carbon. It's really in there more for the energy. Who knows what's out there? It was once in
Right.
space, and there's a lot of power in the mind and intention, and so it's in there for a reason. Believe me, and there's a lot to that. It's yeah, it's just in there for the intention.
I love it.
But it's a clean ingredient that has carbon. The meteorite is really, it's special. The jewelry holding it. I want to hand collect one and pulverize it, ultraventilate it, microfilter, obviously test it, and then maybe even make that as my exfoliant. The Tucson Gem Show, they're actually out of that right now. So I'm gonna have to. That's just what I'm gonna have to do. But I luckily have the capability of doing that, and I can add to the story. So maybe on the
Yeah.
next round. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fascinating stuff, man. Maybe
Thank you.
you can
Yeah.
crush some crystals and put them in there if that
Well,
doesn't turn.
that's I'm going to
Yeah.
selenite. No, oh yeah, shungite. It's just I'm out here in Sedona. I mean, look at I don't know if you see all those crystals on the wall right there.
Ooh, okay. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just yeah, I'm pretty, and I'm telling you, just not only it to form those crystals, how many years it took, the mineralization that it took, the patience to harden. There's something so special about,
Yeah.
gemstones as well and crystals and the energy that they have. So, I mean, yeah, of course I'm interested in that. Whether it's the water that we use in our products running through it, getting cured through that, or getting nice, a rounded exfoliant system that we can get essentially a powder. It'll take a while, but there are machines that can tumble these and really make. I thought about that basically.
Yeah, that's
So,
so awesome.
thank you.
So your products are natural. You know, it's got to a point sometimes when you see the word natural, you do question, because these days people use natural, meaning that it's got like cat urine in there or donkey excrement. I would assume that you don't have any of those ingredients in yours, but
Oh, absolutely not.
yeah.
Oh, sorry.
But
No.
yeah, like with natural, it's something which is overused these days. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
like with yours, is it like, would you say that does it have like any type of ingredient in there which could potentially cause any skin issues to some type of people? Are there ingredients which are not natural, which may cause an issue?
No. I would say the only ingredient was in our fragrant blend for Alitura Presence. Look, I made that to create a form or an aroma. I grew up collecting fragrances, and I had to go. It's a natural fragrant oil, but it's clean. It doesn't have any phthalates, any
Yeah.
parabens, any mineral oil. It's clean as possible. And 75. It's in the 75% organic base, and then water. So it's essentially 75% organic. That is there's a trace amount of synthetic but clean
Mhm.
fragrance in our formula. I mean, Roger, with everything else, I mean, I was licking my hand all week at the conference just from. I mean, many of our products are edible
Right.
to the point of cleanliness, and I take a lot of pride in just watching people scour the ingredient decks. There are no holes in our products, and that's what really was a catalyst for me creating this in the first place, because there were so many holes in the products on store shelves in the back in 2010 when I was starting this like interest into just expanding my vision into clean ingredients, and then trying my own little thing, and then the accident hit and really turned that up. Yeah.
That's really interesting you saying about like tasting it and stuff like that. I remember you mentioned Dave Asprey earlier, have you being on his Bulletproof Radio podcast. I remember him mentioning something about if if you can't if you can't put it in your mouth, then you shouldn't put it on your face. And I found that quite interesting
Mhm.
because there's many products which I had put on my face in the past, which might have even set my face alight, you know. You know, like you mentioned about acne and stuff. There's one product which is called Clearasil. I don't know if they have
Mhm.
that in the States, but it was
Yeah.
for those who have acne. And as a teenager, I had a lot of it, and I used to put that on my face, and it would burn. If I put that in my mouth, I probably would have died.
Oh
But
man.
yeah, it's good. It's good to hear that, you know, you could even put it in your mouth and you're not going to be throwing up or anything like that. It shows
Yeah.
clean.
Yeah. It comes down to emulsion, how you want to create that emulsion. Sure, it's going to take time. It's going to take time to find that emulsion through different temperature sets of the, melting down the wax and getting it just a certain point to add the oil side and the water side to it. It takes a lot more time, and it's definitely more expensive, but the
Mm.
result is something that we absolutely take pride in. And also, I believe, is much more effective. I have very sensitive skin, and my just time over time, I just was experiencing that I never had any issues with this an all natural routine. I went from Aztec Healing Clay, Aubrey Organics products, and just using the cleanest products I could find. And then
Mhm.
sometimes it's frustrating because you see those brands get bought out and their ingredient deck completely changes because of just diluting the formula a little bit for profit reasons. I mean, it's just, yeah, it's getting, you have to really pay attention to your ingredients these days because they're getting very sneaky with even hiding them with government recognized, acceptable terminology that they write in their ingredient decks.
Even things like organic,
Yeah.
there's a certain amount of a certain percentage of organic that is okay for you to classify it as organic, and you could still put some funky synthetics in there as well.
Yeah.
I want to go back to your clay mask, which was your first product, you said, is that right?
Yes. Yeah.
Is it something that you could use frequently? How often would you say you could use that?
I have a lot to prepare for daily, so I'm using it a little bit more now. I recommend 1 to 3 times a week. Take a day off or two in between, especially if you use a derma roller, our little titanium microneedling device that allows these little pathways for the ingredients to sink in further. I don't know if you've tried that, but if not, we got to get one to you. It's a game
No,
changer.
I've got it, but I haven't used it. I've looked at it. I was like, yeah, let me
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of people do. I love that device. But I mean, yeah, so just let it completely dry, rinse off in the shower, follow with the gold serum or moisturizer, seal in the results with the night cream. Stay consistent with that routine 1 to 3 times a week. Take a day or two off in between. It's just, yeah, we just time and time. It's just another testimonial. That's the routine right there. Yeah, cleanse, daily cleanser with the pearl cleanser, follow with the mask and or meteorite scrub, gold serum or moisturizer, night cream at night. Maybe scent your body with the Santal Black or the Presence Cologne. I mean, it's just you clean up your products, everything, as well as your household products, your hair care products. Maybe even look into a cleaner for women with makeup, hairspray, all that. It's just so important to take into account the different because phthalates and fragrance and all these things. Fragrance is the biggest culprit, Roger, I believe. So I
yeah.
just, yeah, we gotta, just slowly over time find better, cleaner alternatives to improve our quality of life and longevity as well.
It's definitely about that. I think, especially as you maybe even hit your 30s, you start to think about it a bit more. I think I started to think about it a bit more in my mid 30s. When I was
Mhm.
training, I remember I was thinking, wow, I'm feeling like really strong. But then I was drinking, and I found that when I was drinking, it was taking me longer to recover. I was like, why is it taking me so long to recover? I feel broken for days. And then and then I was like, wow, it must be because I'm getting older. And I just took it upon myself to decide to leave drinking. I was like, why am I doing it anyway? I'm just doing it for other people. And yeah, life has improved ever since I
Wow.
stopped. Yourself, you used to drink,
Too.
didn't it? Did you, or you still drink,
Yes.
but on the occasion? Like, what's the
No,
story there?
no, 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 no. I'm 6 months sober yesterday. So six months, one day today.
All right,
Uh,
congrats.
yeah. Thank you.
Congrats.
Thank you. Yeah, it was tough there at the end in December 2022. Yeah. I just had it increased. It was a coping mechanism for the stressors and certain, emotions that we experience as business owners
Yeah.
and it became just it started to pick up and I was letting my family and loved ones down and was still working as much as I could. I mean, it was a lot of just counteracting the stress from work with combining that with alcohol, which was just a horrible combination. And also resentment came in, and there was a little anger there as well. And I had to really sit down. I moved out here. I went to Sedona for a 3-day vacation just to clear my head, and I climbed Bell Rock, and it started to drizzle, and it was emotional, like just up there at the top. And people get helicoptered off there all the time. And I scaled down with and I made it, and went, just sitting around in my hotel reflecting that night, was messing around on Zillow. I was like, I kind of like it out here. What found a home. I didn't know you could just schedule an appointment through Zillow. So I did. I was like, all right, 12 o'clock the next day, went, saw a home within seconds. I knew this place had to be mine and put in an offer the next day, accepted Tuesday. And here, just moved to Sedona where I never had an intention to move. But man, that this is the only thing that that got me to really sit with myself and address who I wanted to be. You know what I mean? Like it just this it was not the best way to live by any means, and I was letting a lot of people down. But sitting with those consequences, and then just and then step by step putting in the work to counteract them and heal them and get back to where you're supposed to be was very difficult. But I did it though.
Well
Then
done.
those first weeks, thank you, man. Those first few weeks were I didn't that made the accident like nothing. The recovery from the accident feel like nothing. That was very difficult. And
Right.
but I'm glad I reached that suffering low because oh man, like I'm right where I'm supposed to be. That thing it got that like excitement to want to go out, socialize, drink has been removed from me. I prayed for that and so
Mhm.
hard. Yeah. And to have that removed, like I don't get that flutter, that butterfly, the butterflies to like, oh, when I see it, it's just gone. It's transferred to seriously spirituality, nature, art. I mean, look, I don't know if you see that, but
Oh,
like I
nice.
just am so beneferu. Oh man, I just love. So that's my new thing. I love finding out more and more about why we're here, how we got here, and visiting those hotspots, those sacred places all around the world where so much history is. Man, the energy there, and I just feel like there's a higher power that's really just guiding me through life.
Oh, for
Yeah,
sure,
forever.
man.
Yeah.
So, is there any kind of, I don't know, sacred place you want to go to? I don't know, like, have you tried plant medicine, like
Yeah.
ayahuasca or anything like that?
I have tried plant medicine. I haven't tried ayahuasca yet, but I'm going to Peru July 11th, and I think that's going to be the time that I do it. I think that's going to be the time I do it. So it's coming up here.
Well
Let's do
done,
it.
man.
Why not? What about you?
I haven't. I haven't. I've only read about it, heard stories about it,
Hmm.
but it's something I definitely want to do in the future. I feel like I'm ready. At a certain
Yeah,
point, I don't think I was, but now I'm a bit more. I think when you get that spiritual awakening,
hmm,
and it just keeps calling you, like there's messages in different areas saying you need to do this. Uh,
exactly.
hmm.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean that's I the word Aya kept I don't know kept going over in my head when during recovery, which was interesting. So,
Oh.
um, yeah,
So,
maybe I'll experiment with that here soon.
yeah, I'd love to hear about it. But when you had the accident, is it literally just your face which got injured and the rest of your body was fine, or was it?
No, I had a big road rash gash on my side right here, a scar right here where the chest tube was inserted, and some stuff on my right side. Um,
Right.
yeah, and then other than that, just like yeah, road rash scrapes and stuff.
Okay.
But
Okay.
yeah, it did break 7 ribs, and that collapsed lung was man because they give you this breathing machine, and when sneezing on a collapsed lung was excruciating, man. But
Wow. Wow.
the
Uh,
pain makes you stronger, as you know.
yeah, man. Seriously, it's like it's weird how bad things do happen for good reasons. It
Absolutely.
just wakes you up sometimes. Um,
Mhm.
Moving on slightly, your serum, your golden serum, I've probably only used it about 3 times, but I know that there's some amazing ingredients in there.
Yeah,
What are the ingredients, and would you say it's suitable for all skin types?
I do. I always recommend people just patch test behind their ear or their wrist just to test the reaction to it. But
Okay.
we've had, I mean, incredible. That's our most popular product right now.
Mhm.
So it's rare. It's the best from like cutting edge anti-aging skin science with EcoCert approved botanicals like plant-derived vitamin A, which is a retinol alternative, with similar results as retinol, but without the harsh sensitivity and just irritation that you can get from going out in the sun, just unpredictable downtime, which I don't like. We have marine collagen, CoQ10, and copper peptide is our actives in a bioactive base, 95% certified organic. We have no water in the formula, so we don't have to use a preservative. We're using rose otto oil, frankincense, sandalwood, and a base of bee products just with propolis, beeswax, honey. It's insane. That's our most
Wow.
popular product. Yeah, I mean,
I
because
mean,
it's very rare that you find that a company does both. It's usually one or the other. But we're combining actives and a bioactive botanical base that serves the skin to a different level. Yeah, it's a special product for sure. Yeah.
What can a person expect from that serum? Like, what's its main purpose?
Well, it's a concentrated moisturizer that specifically targets anti-aging air concerns like crow's feet, minimizes the appearance of those over time, can recondition the skin during the collagen synthesis process while exfoliating properly. At night, I mean, copper peptide is just very good for the skin, and the combination, I mean, with the plant-derived vitamin A, we actually source that from France. It's organic alfalfa derived, a high concentration of vitamin A. So you're getting that naturally through plants rather than lab made, which has resulted in just a more gentle application and effective result without the harsh side effects, you know?
Yeah, yeah. That's
Yeah.
awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
What is your regimen? I know you've mentioned a few things. Like, what do you do on a, like, let's say, because this is your thing, and you've been doing
Yeah.
it for years, even
Oh,
from when
yeah.
you was in your 20s. So
Absolutely.
take it seriously, and that's the reason why you look so beautiful, sir.
Ah,
So
thank you,
let us
man.
know. Let us know what is your daily routine?
Oh, so what I'll do is I get up, I do breath work, I do a cold plunge and or shower. By that time, I'm pretty, locked in. I let my body come back to its own temperature naturally. So that kind of wakes you up. Then I'll pop in uh, the coffee with cacao butter, beeswax, or butter, um, little MCT oil, cayenne, chocolate powder, stevia. Call my mom, get an unbelievable FaceTime with her, get the endorphins going. By that time, coffee's gone. Mix up a mask, firing up the music right here. I'll probably cleanse and then roll the derma roller, apply the mask, let that completely dry, get some sunlight right here. Then go in here to the Juve for about 10 minutes, let the Juve kind of tighten that up. You feel the warmth. It's unbelievable. And then I'll
Ooh.
go,
So
yeah,
you put the mask on, you go outside with the mask on, and you put
yeah,
the red light on your face with the mask on as well.
absolutely. I'll go in, yeah, to do that. I sit as close to it as I can. You just
Okay.
do feel some activity from the photobiomodulation. The red lights just, they're finding out more and more and more of just what it's capable of. And so I'll go rinse that off. Sometimes I'll combine that with the meteorite scrub
Yeah.
just to just to help with the exfoliation and rinsing the clay mask. I'm telling you, your skin is ignited. I would do that. I would take a day or two off in between, especially if you're combining it with the meteorite scrub. But that's my exfoliating, and then I hop out of the shower. Usually I'll clean shave, that follicles raised a little bit so the hair just wipes off. Cold
Mm.
rinse to close the pores. Follow with the gold serum, seal it in with a little night cream during the day. I'm weird. Hey, it doesn't matter. Hey,
Ah,
it
man,
just,
I love weird.
because it's a little dry out here, you got to stack certain things. And yeah, just reapply as needed, seal it in with the angel's mist, and then reapply that as needed.
Angel's
That's it
Mist.
right there.
I've missed that,
Oh,
man.
yeah.
Angel.
Yeah, that's our toner. Dave helped me out with that one. Because I wasn't going to make a toner. And because I was just recommend, hydrosol, which is basically, same thing, witch hazel. But there is niacinamide, organic alcohol, and caffeine as a delivery method for the organic botanicals. We're using organic rose oil, a collection of Egyptian botanicals that I sourced while I was in Cairo.
Oh, wow.
Frankincense, Nile lily, sakara flower, myrrh, blue lotus. I mean, it smells amazing. Blood orange oil smells amazing, and it performs with the aroma and also the sense, like the sentimental value of just. I think of it every time, Egypt every time. Apply it, and it serves the skin, so it's a nice like refresher for your gold serum or moisturizer throughout the day, and also very good for like refreshing mineral makeup for women and or whoever. And yeah, it's a good product that we just released. It's exciting to me. And yeah, we're just starting to dive into hair care as well for
Mhm.
a conditioner, shampoo, and leave-in conditioner. We're on our second revision, so look for that. Hopefully by the end of the year.
I was going to ask you whether you were going to look into some other products, and I was thinking more like even like beard products because I remember applying the night cream on my face, and I got some of it in my facial hair, and it was so shiny. It looked so, I was like, oh, this looks really good. And
Yeah.
I was like, I really like it because, you know, it's a bit, I had to shave it off and it's growing back slowly. But I've got beard oil by another company and it gives it a nice sheen. But when with this, it really did give it a nice shine. And I was thinking to myself, I wonder if, first of all, if it's okay, if it's got some sort of ingredients which is okay for hair on the face,
Mhm.
and also whether you are going to be working on something like that, you know?
Yeah. So the yeah, it's good for the face. Not ideal, a little thicker, but I'm glad it worked out for you. So get this. I was making Santal Black originated as a beard oil. And I just it came to a point where it just the aroma was just I put it on my body. I'm like, this is so much more than a beard oil. It's a body oil, protects flyaways. Women love it. I'll put a couple dabs underneath my arm before I work out as like a natural deodorizer. It's 96% certified organic, all essential oils, no water in the formula, two different kinds of sandalwood, bergamot, black pepper, a little vanilla in there. It's that's one of our that's like one of those that you have in your hand. Just you just kind of pump it and then just watch the reaction. It's insane. Yeah, but it performs well too. It's beyond a beard oil. It's like there's no beard oil that compares to it. I mean, I would say that if I was, we got to get you some basically. I can't believe we haven't sent one. But yeah,
Yeah,
that's
man.
like it's very multifaceted. But yeah, that's one of the things it does is yeah, we don't market that well enough at all.
Wow,
But
wow,
yeah,
wow.
yeah,
I'll be
because
excited
it's
to
starting
check
off
out
as that.
stuff. And,
Yeah,
you know, if I'm feeling it, then definitely do a video on it to share with other people, you know. I love
yeah,
talking about my experiences and just sharing it with others. So that's exciting stuff. Um,
absolutely.
so yeah, I mean, I always thought to myself with having clear skin, diet is very important. And that's sort of what worked for me over the years. But I think if you've got some kind of what do you call it? Some kind of lotion, topical lotion, to complement that, then it will be incredible. So
Yeah.
drinking lots of water, some, you know, some like myself, I've got some structured water here. uh, Natural foods, going out, getting some sun, doing some grounding, trying to reduce stress levels, having crystals around me as well. I don't have as much crystals as you do in the house, but I do have some on my skin, you know,
There you
sometimes around my
go.
neck.
You're absorbing it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it, man.
Hey, Roger, can I run to the restroom real quick? We
Go for
pause
it,
this
man.
and come back.
Go for
Okay.
it. All right, sweet. So welcome back.
Yes. Thank you.
Um, yeah, so I was just talking about natural things to help the body to remain in homeostasis, really, to avoid inflammation in the face and any kind of oxidative stress to help us to be more youthful. So doing
Mhm.
those natural things, eating more natural foods, organic if you can. Um, what other things would you suggest would help with people to keep their youth, like, you know, to complement the lotions or serums that they're using from Alitura?
Sauna. I'm a huge fan of niacin, doing a niacin protocol. And then, just doing like with a binder, chlorella. I worked my way up, but I'm at like 3,000 milligrams of niacin. I'll go in there for 45 minutes with some mineral water and or structured water.
Yeah.
And it's just what I have to do. I mean, I get my most creative thoughts in the sauna. I had to say that. The sauna for me, I've been going since I was 10. But yeah, so the sauna, exfoliating. I like um, IVs. I love IVs. Nutraceuticals, peptides are great. I do copper peptide, BPC, NAD as well.
Mhm.
If you have access to those,
Yeah, NAD.
um,
Which brand do you use?
tailor made.
Tailor made. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, and um, Yeah, vitamin C, glutathione. I mean, it's huge. Get your blood work done. I would recommend getting your blood work done. To a naturopath. Dr. Will Cole is great. Finding out your inflammation markers. Get that done quarterly, making sure you're dialed in. You're taking care of your car more than yourself. That's not right. It's you just got to look inward and just make sure that we're right and eat. Consume foods and apply products and things you that are clean. And a really big culprit is our detergent, that we're all the clothes that we're absorbing. We're so porous, our skin absorbs everything. It's like such a sponge. And so I would really pay attention to the detergents you're washing your family's you and your family's clothes, and just all of your products that you're
Yeah.
using. Look into them. I mean, there are healthier options out there. My Green Fills is a good one. Um, and Dr. Bronner's, I love the Sal Suds, SALSUDS is a good
Okay.
product.
Is
Yeah,
is that available internationally?
I think so. I'm
Hmm.
pretty sure it is Sal Suds. Yeah.
Cool.
But My Green Fills is My Green Fills, I believe, is available internationally as well. But yeah, just cleaning up the ingredients of what you absorbing throughout
Yeah.
the day, just cutting down on environmental stressors, and then detoxing and sweating that out. I think
Hmm.
that's just cleansing the system, changing the oil internally and externally as much as you can, getting
So
good
you
sunlight.
you have chlorella, you say. Do you have a chlorella drink or capsule before you go into the sauna?
I have like six um, when the niacin is fully kicked in.
Okay.
So like, and then I'll go in the sauna. So I'm hoping as a binder, once those toxins are released, the chlorella binds with the toxins, and then I'm able to remove that from the system that
Hmm.
way.
Right.
But yeah, I do six of those little, I think it's Sun Food chlorella pellets.
Okay. Yeah.
And yeah, but yeah, pretty red walking into the gym. It's
Yeah.
yeah,
That's
yeah. But
interesting.
hey,
I've,
stimulating for sure.
I've heard chlorella with essential amino acids is supposed to be good, having them together. Uh,
Okay.
it was a functional medicine dentist who told me about it. Even though he's a dentist, he knows his stuff. Um,
Wow.
I'll try and find out why, and I might post about it or share it with you. But his name he goes by the name of Dominic Nishvitz, or Dr. Dome, as some people call him on Instagram.
Okay.
Tim Biohacker is great friends with
Yeah.
him. So you know Tim, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that's something to think about. Well, if
I
I can
wonder
find
what
information,
aminos.
huh?
I wonder what aminos, arginine, glycine, maybe.
I think you just said like the whole essential amino acid spectrum.
Oh, just the full spectrum. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, um,
Yeah.
yeah. But you say you take the niacin. What does that do exactly? Taking niacin before the sauna, I'm assuming. It's to like
It
open up
brings,
the yeah, go.
yeah, it's like a vasodilator. It just brings a lot of circulation to the surface of the skin and brings the toxins to the surface of the skin, from head to toe. It just dramatically increases blood flow and expands red blood vessels. Apparently, it's just
Right.
I am.
I
But
know
I
I get
like.
that sort of itchy sort of feeling. Do you get that at
Oh
all?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Prickly heat sort of. Yeah.
Yeah, it can be uncomfortable, but that's just the performance of it though. It's
Hmm.
working. Niacin is fascinating to me. Now, all of that, like the NMN, it's just they're
Yeah.
all right around the nicotinamide riboside,
Yeah. And the nucleotide.
mononucleotide. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but it's all derived in a similar, like nicotinic acid. That is for cognitive function as well. I'm just finding out more and more about that, and scientists are as well. For the
That's awesome. Is this one of the reasons why you go to the, like the summits, the biohacking conferences and stuff like that?
Oh,
Like,
absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, every year they have some new device. I mean, but whether or not it, it's just, it's good to see the people, the biocharger, ARX, new
Wow.
fit. I
Yeah.
mean, what you know how it is. It's like they have so many devices now for man. I could go get a workout at New Fit. You strap those pads on. I'm sore for a week. I did it 3 days. I did it Thursday. It's Monday now, and I mean, I just feel like I got a workout in. Anyway, but you're doing that for 20 minutes. So
Yeah.
like high performers, if they don't have time to really work out every day, I mean, they just have ways of, optimizing every part of your life in an effort to biohack and optimize, the cleanliness and longevity of our bodies. So yeah,
Fascinating stuff.
it's fascinating. Yeah, it is. Every year they have something new, and they just take it a step further.
Yeah.
Ozone, you name it. Hyperbaric chambers, red light infused with sound healing. It's just, yeah, it's
Yeah.
getting very, very advanced. But
Do
these
you?
things are very effective. A lot of
Mhm.
this stuff works.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
I haven't actually tried ozone yet, but it's something I'm thinking about. Hyperbaric many, many times. There's one local to where I live, about 35-minute drive. They've
Nice.
got cryotherapy, the hyperbaric chamber, and they've got these sort of compression pads for the legs for lymphatic drainage,
Yeah.
localized cryo as well, and the IV. Yeah, but I've done the laser one as well. That looks pretty funky. Where you got the different color lasers going through the veins, the different laser light IV. Um, that's
Oh,
really
I've heard
interesting.
of that. Wait, did you use methylene blue in that? Did you get that infused too?
Methylene blue, no, no. It's
No?
just no, no. That one was with like NAD and some
Mm.
other I don't know, other stuff to help to make you feel great. I just
Yeah.
remember when I had it, it felt like they said to me, let us know if we need to turn it down a bit. At one point, as I was like attached to this IV with the NAD and all these other ingredients like vitamin B and I don't know, some other stuff,
Mhm.
my heart started to race. I was like, this is just natural shit. Like, why is my heart racing?
That's that
Like,
NAD.
okay, could you like turn it down a bit? I don't know. Like, IV. We're like, yeah, sure. But afterwards, because I turned up at this, biohacking facility, and I was slightly tired because I was sleep deprived. I'd been up many nights working pretty late, and I turned up there. And after that, I felt like some of my deprivation was deleted. I was like, oh my God, how do you just delete my tiredness?
Hmm.
Sometimes you have a coffee, you have another one, you have another one, might pick you up a little bit, but then it just doesn't get to a point where it just doesn't work anymore.
Hmm.
Whereas with this, it was like it just vanished. I did feel a little bit sick for a bit, but then afterwards, I was like, wow, I feel
Yeah.
so fresh, like I just had a great sleep.
That's that NAD. I think that like little wave that you felt was
Mhm.
that NAD hitting you. I could be wrong, but yeah, it's effective. And staying on top of that, maintaining just increases the life of the mitochondria of your cells, head to toe. I mean, it's just important to supplement with that and sublingually as well. Yeah, I
Right.
get IVs as much as I can. It's a little bit more difficult than it was in Las Vegas, but there's still a couple places out here. And I also subcutaneously just inject a little NAD and BPC 157, all
Mm.
every other day or so.
Oh,
Yeah,
what you got it in your house? The NAD, sorry, BP 157.
sure do. Oh yeah,
Cool,
highly
cool.
recommended. Yeah,
Oh,
I same thing. TaylorMade makes it. Yeah, it just helps. You know, got to stay up working pretty hard, man. So I got to optimize um, everything. Going to bed early, up today at 5:15, seeing the sunrise. I mean, but in bed by 9. Getting good quality sleep,
that's
like you, grounding. Just all areas of my life have definitely improved just from moving here to Sedona from Las Vegas. Air quality, you name it. Yeah, it's a special area, sacred area.
Yeah. Well done for that, man. So
Thank you.
with Alitura, first of all, like how did you come up with that name? I don't know if you mentioned already, but
So it was, we originally started it off as Golden Glow, two G's, no W, all one word, capital G on the glow.
mm,
Uh, but and I like that, but it quickly got some negative feedback, and we bounced around a lot of ideas. But Alitura being Latin for feeding and nourishing, just I can't imagine any other name now. At the time, it just sounded right. And going back and forth with, then we had to come up with the logo. It was pretty much just myself. I always say we though, but just coming up with the logo, hiring designers. I went to tattoo artists. I knew I wanted, I didn't, I wanted kind of like the Michael Jackson bad, like kind of scribbly. And then I went,
right.
no, 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 more professional. And then they recommend, I mean, they couldn't come up with anything. So finally I took a stack of paper, went to Kinko's and a Sharpie, and I've always been obsessed with my signature. And I just went, Aliture's A as well, and just signed off Aliture. I was like, well, wait, yeah, I'm signing off the ingredients. This makes all right. And I started to get into it and then finally nailed it. And I love it, dude. I love where it's at now because it's like our little A is a combination of that, and then finishing off with like a tribute to Nike. That's like the swoosh at the end. Phil Knight
Yeah.
is a very big inspiration as a founder and CEO to me. So,
Okay.
yeah,
That's great stuff, man. That's great stuff.
yeah,
So the stuff which you have in the pipeline, you mentioned you're doing some hair products. Do you have anything specific for women at all? Um, or is it like both men and women can use all these products?
oh,
Have it
absolutely. We're
right,
68% women, 32% male.
right.
We're working on getting that line evened out, but it's great. Yeah, women, all of our products are for everyone. And um, yeah, just kind of, I like to leave it up to the customer to decide if they like it,
Yeah,
what I
yeah.
mean?
That's
Yeah,
brilliant, man. That's brilliant. So yeah, fantastic. So I think people would love to know where they can get your products. Like what is the website, and do you have like any special offers?
absolutely. So we made a, well, first off, we're located at alitura.com. That's alitura.com. And then Alitura Naturals on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. All the inquiries come to me. So if you have any questions, by all means, please reach out. I love talking and just recommending, whether it's our products or someone else. I just talking health and wellness and skincare, all encompassing. So please reach out if you'd like. And then we do have a 20% off store wide coupon for Mr. Roger Snipes.
Oh,
And
nice.
yeah, so we'll just call it Snipes
Um,
at, 20% off. And then you can use that at checkout if you'd like. And I just really appreciate you having me on. It's good to chat with you, man. It's been a while. I know you've been busy, slam traveling and working, but I'm really glad that we finally got you the products and that you responding well to them so far.
oh, thank you so much. I am
Yeah.
very blessed to be able to actually test it out. As I said, I heard so many people talk about it, but for me to test it out and get a good response from it, this is one of the reasons why we're even talking now, to be honest with you,
Yeah.
because many products I've not been happy with, and I've always just left it as natural. Put water on my face, dab myself with a towel.
Mhm.
Now I've got a little beauty treatment set up.
I love it. Yes.
Bless you, man. Bless you. Thank you
Thank you,
so
brother.
much,
Bless
my
you.
friend.
Thank you
Uh,
so much for having me on.
no worries at all. I'm gonna shoot you a message. I definitely want to try some of the other products, but I'm
Oh
gonna
yeah.
first try the clay mask because that one is waiting for me to open it up.
Oh yeah, it's intense, man. It's just man it's just renewal every time, total renewal. I
Mm,
mean, especially when you get like the full head involved, head, neck, décolleté, lymph nodes. Yeah, I mean, just that influx of circulation. I even roll my scalp so it gets in a little bit deeper. It's just we're on some flute music, man, getting some sunlight, talking to mom. I mean, all that love, and you just rinse it off, exfoliate, shave, cold rinse, splash, hydrate, dude. We're good. You leave that the ripple effect every day, dude. It's just I know what I'm getting every day with that routine.
yeah, yeah. I'm gonna be on
Yeah.
that very soon. Nice
Sounds
one.
good.
Thank you so much, Andy. I really
Thank
appreciate your
you.
time. It's been so great
Likewise.
speaking to you. All right.
Likewise. All right, see you, bud.
You take care, my friend.
You too.